Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes of your time here with me today. And you know what? We're going to be looking at not one, not two, but three unique DVDs because they're all kind of part of this little mini-series that Disney did in the early 2000s when DVD was new and everything. And we're going to do something a little different. In addition to doing three, we're going to be having images so that you can see exactly what makes these editions special. So for a while, when DVD was new, Disney, they decided to release some of their new recent movies on two different editions. You would have the mainstream family edition. This is the edition that would show up in your Walmarts, your Targets, your Costco's. And then there would be a 2-disc special edition that, or collector's edition as they called it, that would be sold to adults. These would have more sophisticated covers, a second disc, and slightly nicer packaging. This was for the adult collector market. And they did this for, as far as I'm aware, three titles before they decided to just start releasing uniformed releases all around because it got confusing for parents. And thankfully they seem to lean towards the 2-disc editions for their acclaimed films and 1 discs for maybe they're not so acclaimed films, and for the most part 2 discs for their new releases. And to kind of show you, we're going to put like an image in the top corner. This is Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Now, as you can see, the cover there shows the cast of characters. It highlights some of the colorful aspects. You can still sense a little bit of the danger in the back image, but for the most part, it is basically being sold to a family. Well, for the adult collector's edition, they did this edition, which has none of the characters. It has the ship. You can see a little shine in the banner, and you can see that they had the submarine, suggesting that this was going to be like a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea adventure. That looks really nice. In fact, if you go to the back, you can see the characters are there, but they're not highlighting them. What they are highlighting is a lot of these special features, the Leviathan. And when you look inside, you can see the artwork is the same for the cover. And they released these booklets that would show you where everything was on the DVD. They even have this little map, if you will. Now, as for the second disc, they showed the map for Atlantis, and this was dedicated completely to supplemental features. So that was Atlantis. Now, let's look at Tarzan. Tarzan, as you can see, again, it's highlighting the characters, and it shows Tarzan swinging on the tree. It has the colors and everything. So what are they going to do to sell it to an adult market? Well, this is how they were going to do it. They made a cover, and they're almost advertising the behind-the-scenes features more than the movie itself, because Tarzan here is in a rough sketch by Glenn Keane, and there's almost no color. It looks like a storyboard. You look at it on the side, nothing there. And then on the back, this actually was used as one of the images on the soundtrack. Again, they're highlighting the special features. They're not even discussing the movie much. It gets just a little blip on the back cover. And, another thing that's noticeable, credits. They have credits on the back of these discs. Not all of the single disc. Well, this one doesn't have it, but this one does. So it's nice to see when the directors and filmmakers get proper due. When you open, here's the cover, and as you can see, they're emphasizing more on the rough sketches. This is, again, the booklet that comes to show where everything is when you pop it in. This one also has a little write-up. I don't know who actually wrote this. They're not crediting anyone, but about the movie, the history, and what the DVD edition provides. It mentions what the DVD-ROM special features were. Now, as for the second disc, they actually break from tradition, and they give Jane her own disc. But again, it's in the rough sketch form. Like, again, this is looking like a really sophisticated animated movie. Not that it isn't. It's actually one of Disney's better films, but, you know, it doesn't look 100% like this. Now, the third one they did this for was the Emperor's New Groove. Now, this is what the DVD was. As you can see, they are clearly highlighting the laughs, the color, Kuso's vanity, and you might be wondering, okay, so how are you going to take this movie and make it look a little bit more prestige? And well, this is how they did it. As you can see, the logo is shiny. They're using this image of him as a llama like it was a sculpture. It's even a little shiny down here. And you have this is called the Ultimate Groove. They actually gave this one a nickname, and again, highlighting the special features and everything. They give you a little bit more information about the movie here, and they do at least highlight one of the scenes from the movie, Yzma and Kronk, but otherwise they do a pretty good job making this look a little bit more sophisticated. By the way, that's not a knock against the movie. I love this movie, but it's a goofy movie. It really is. Now let's look, and as you can see, I like how it almost looks gold. Like, you know, you'd think this was like the road to El Dorado. And look, even the letters on the booklet are shiny. On the back, here's all the supplemental bonus material. Here's the chapters. This one gets a write-up by Thomas Schumacher. And that's actually very interesting because Thomas Schumacher is one of the reasons why this movie was in development hell for so long. He had so many different complaints about how things were going that it was forcing the animators and directors to change things until, well, it became a completely different movie than what they had anticipated. Now, Kronk's on the second disc shows that Kronk is more popular than anyone else here. It doesn't look as shiny as this one, but it's still pretty good. Now, this is probably in some ways the most disappointing of the two disc sets because unlike these two, this especially had a very tumultuous development cycle. It started out as a drama epic called Kingdom of the Sun. It got retooled, director got fired, and turned to the Emperor's New Groove. Now, a documentary called The Sweatbox was filmed, and it was contractually obligated to be released, and what Disney did was they edited it down to like a 3.5-minute clip and basically said, there, we've released a version of the movie, and that is what's kept that movie out of the public for so long, although it has been leaked, so you can see it if you want. But of all the movies here, of all these three, this is the one that should have had the most extensive special features. It actually had the least amount of special features that were worth watching, although it does have a deleted scene that was fully animated. That's pretty cool to see. So this is what the collector's editions look like. Now, are they worth hunting out now? Probably not. The vast majority of these special features have carried on over to the new Blu-rays. And of course, since these are DVDs, the picture quality is not as good. So this is more of like a little history lesson more than anything, just to show how Disney was at first approaching the DVD market. Eventually, they would decide they would only release one edition of each movie. Most of them were one discs, except for like Diamond and Platinum releases, which would get multiple discs, although now we got the Signature Collection for 4K, and that went back to one, even though it's like, that should be the nicest one. But what are you going to do? But this was interesting how they first decided to approach the DVD market after their original limited edition releases were done. Now, what are those releases? Well, we might do a video about that later if you demand it. If you want to know what those are, you can comment below. In fact, I'd like to know, did you buy any of these editions? Do you still have them? What do you think of them? Do you think they're worth getting? Let me know, comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and happy collecting, everyone. Hey, you made it to the end. Thank you so much for making it to the end. Just a few more things. First of all, the names that you see on the screen, these are our Patreon and YouTube member supporters, and I thank each and every one of them. Their support helps me make exclusive videos for Patreon and YouTube members, as well as keep the channel running, and of course is just of huge kindness to me. Also, don't forget to check out the iCritic-led podcast on Spotify, Apple, Google, Deezer, whatever podcasting service you listen to, it is there. We definitely want to see you there. And hey, there's also other videos that you can check out. So, you know, check out these other channels, these other videos, especially that one. I think that's a really good one.